In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 college basketball games happening on December 3rd, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Louisville versus Arkansas. Bud Walton should feel like a pressure pot for this matchup. Louisville arrives with an unbeaten record and its high-powered scoring, built on a streak of 100-point outings and a national lead near 96 points a night. Their attack comes alive from deep and they hit threes at a top-tier national rate. Yet every burst of offense has come at home or on neutral floors. This trip gives them their first true road test, and the setting is a loud arena that recently drew more than 20,000 fans when Arkansas handled Duke. Arkansas holds a ranked position at 5-2 and already dealt with elite opponents in early season battles. The team leans on transition strength while keeping opponents from running, shares the ball with care, and sits near the top of the country in foul shooting. The roster reports no injuries. Louisville lists one player as a game-time decision and another out for the season. Arkansas also places a coach on the sideline with a long track record of success against Louisville from earlier stops. These pieces shape a home court profile that matches well with a visiting group that has not yet faced a true road environment. As our first pick for this matchup, the Arkansas Razorbacks to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The scoring numbers on both sides point to a fast pace, yet the context tempers that picture. Louisville pushed early season scores past 100 in several outings, but those came against weaker opposition and in friendly gyms. Arkansas defends transition with discipline, keeps opponents out of open court lanes, and forces more half-court possessions. That style slows tempo and reduces the number of clean looks that create the high totals Louisville posted at home. Big stage games often stretch possessions as coaches value control, ball security, and late clock execution. Arkansas also draws fouls at a high rate and converts with steady form, which adds points but does not increase the total amount of possessions. These factors create a setting where long possessions and defensive focus limit the chance for a frantic pace. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Clemson versus Alabama. Alabama enters this matchup with a record shaped by fast play and a taste for chaos. Clemson brings a 7-1-0 mark built on control and poise. Alabama pushes tempo until it bends, which inflates scoring runs and tempts opponents into rushed possessions. Clemson answers with long half-court sets that slow the pulse of a game. Alabama thrives when it turns stops into instant transition attacks, but Clemson reduces that runway with patient movement and steady spacing. Alabama wants a high possession count, but Clemson trims possessions with slow setups and tight rotations. This contrast creates friction that can keep the score tighter than expected without needing surprise events or lucky swings. Alabama trusts its pace, Clemson trusts its rhythm. That tension shapes the matchup. As our first pick for this matchup, the Clemson Tigers to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The total reflects a projection built on Alabama's trademark pace and a national trend toward faster scoring. Clemson pulls the opposite direction with a deliberate approach that demands long trips through the shot clock. Alabama shoots early and often, which lifts totals in many matchups. Clemson forces a different style by turning games into measured exchanges that limit the surge and crash of Alabama's preferred tempo. Alabama can score in bunches, yet even they need a steady stream of possessions to meet a number this high. Clemson's profile cuts that stream. Their defense holds firm in the half-court, which breaks the rhythm of teams that rely on pace to manufacture points. Slow possessions and controlled spacing make a high total harder to reach through pure offensive strength. The matchup becomes a test of patience rather than a race. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. SMU versus Vanderbilt. SMU arrives at Memorial Gym with an unbeaten mark of 8-0, carrying a style built on speed and constant pressure. Vanderbilt meets them with its own 8-0 start, shaped by a strong run-through battle for Atlantis and a rhythm that has held steady on its home floor. The gym's raised floor and unusual sightlines often tilt the pace and flow of a game, and this matchup leans into that effect. Vanderbilt has pushed the ball with purpose, shared it with control, and hit a high share of threes while also forcing frequent turnovers. SMU has scored at a high clip, yet it comes in with a thinner front court because Jaden Toombs remains out with a wrist injury and Sam Walters sits as a question mark with an ankle issue. Vanderbilt's rotation is intact except for George Kimball III, who is expected to miss the season with a knee injury. The books list Vanderbilt at roughly a 10.5-point favorite. The gap reflects how often its depth and pressure have worn down opponents after the first swings of the game. As our first pick for this matchup, the Vanderbilt Commodores to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Oddsmakers set a total as a number that signals fast play and long stretches of scoring. Vanderbilt has averaged close to 98 points per game with strong shooting from deep and steady trips to the line. SMU has scored around 92 points per game with a pace that rewards extra possessions. Both groups rely on ball movement, spacing, and pressure, which leads to turnovers and transition chances. SMU leads its league in fast break points and free throw percentage. Vanderbilt fires a large volume of threes at a high rate while still finding lanes to attack inside. Both defenses grade well, yet the rapid pace and turnover creation tend to feed scoring rather than reduce it. When systems like these meet, the floor often lifts rather than tightens, and the total reflects that expectation. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. NC State versus Auburn. Auburn has used its home court well this season. The team sits at 4-0 in its own arena, and the crowd tends to lift its tempo and energy. NC State steps into its first true road game, and the shift in atmosphere can feel sharp for a group that has spent its early schedule on neutral floors. The Wolfpack also bring a long stretch of road losses that now spans 14 straight games. Auburn pushes the pace, draws fouls, and piles up points, and its attack has held steady at an average near 88. NC State has allowed close to 76 to 77 points each night and recently gave up more than 100 when the game turned fast. Both teams appear healthy based on current public reports, so the matchup should play out without major rotation gaps. Auburn's style fits the setting, and the conditions point toward a specific side. As our first pick for this matchup, the Auburn Tigers to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The total sets up in a way that rewards pace and constant movement. Both offenses push the ball and seek quick scores. Auburn sits near 88 points per game and NC State sits near 93, and both groups often create long stretches of end-to-end play. Auburn ranks in the upper tier for offensive efficiency. NC State plays with a tempo in the top third of Division I and takes a large share of its shots from deep. Those long shots create long rebounds, and long rebounds create fast breaks. Recent trends support a high count on the scoreboard, with Auburn hitting overs in 7 of its last 8 games and NC State pushing 5 of its last 7 above the posted number. Both teams expect full rosters based on public injury information. The styles match in a way that favors steady scoring pressure. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Virginia versus Texas. Virginia arrives in Austin with a 6-1 record, and Texas stands at 6-2. The setting is the Moody Center, where Texas has won all home games so far this season. Virginia has not yet played a true road game, and its schedule has kept it in familiar settings. Texas has faced tougher tests, including high-scoring games that pushed its roster to play fast and stay aggressive. The home crowd shapes the tempo, and Texas has leaned into a style that uses movement, spacing, and steady pressure. Virginia brings discipline and control, yet this matchup places that approach in a loud arena that rewards a freer rhythm. Texas has shown that kind of rhythm at home with strong scoring stretches, and that creates a clear picture of how the matchup may tilt. As our first pick for this matchup, the Texas Longhorns to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both teams take the floor with scoring trends that fit an open game. Texas averages over 90 points and gives opponents room to answer with steady scoring of their own. Virginia has shifted its style this season and now attacks more often, with several games in the 80s or above. The posted total sits in the 150 range, and both teams have recent results that support a wide track. Texas has played in several games that soared past typical college totals, and Virginia has stacked results that show a roster ready to push the ball and keep the pace moving. Neither team brings major injury concerns into the matchup, and both rely on reworked lineups that favor offense. The conditions set up a contest where long possessions are rare and scoring comes in steady waves. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed, subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.